Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Keep your questions coming in, alright? Any way you want to send them to me. Social media, email, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Or like my last viewer, phone call or text, 949-415-6256, alright? So, today's question's from a viewer, obviously going to remain anonymous. They had the opportunity to purchase a clinic, a research clinic, or start a new one, start a startup clinic. And so the clinic that they were looking at, and by the way, what I recommend is starting your own rather than purchasing, unless the rule for purchases in this industry go like this. Either a really small site with a lot of potential to grow, or a really big one that's already established. Nothing in between, okay? And what he was looking at and what his group was looking at was exactly something in that in-between space, and I think that's the danger zone. I think that those type of operations are built on the strength of one or two key individuals who usually are the owners, and when new ownership comes along, even though you can have them stay on for the transition period, usually a year or two, I know because I've been through this process before, you still can't guarantee that the business is going to work out after they're long gone, or that they're going to be hustling as much as they were for themselves, for you. So the reason I say go really small or go really big is obviously going very small, you can get a discount, what Warren Buffett calls intrinsic value. Okay, so they may not have the book value yet, which is good. Like on paper they may not show the book value, but they can be leading up towards that, and they may have gotten into a financial bind, or maybe they just don't like the business anymore, maybe it's too hard for them, but you can buy them at a pretty good price and it has a lot of intrinsic value there. Or you can buy a part of it and have the current owners be partners with you and then help them build it. Or you go really big, like the opposite direction. Any site with 5 or 6 million in revenue or more per year would fall under this category. At this point you're buying a system, you're not buying just a 1 or 2 man operation. You're buying a system. Yes, you're going to pay a premium for it. Usually the multiples are around 3 or 4. I know the asking price is usually 3 or 4 times earnings. So if you make $1 million in profit a year, the asking price is going to be 3 to 4. I think that's a little too high. If you can, try to get 2 to 3 times earnings. But for a site that established, that big, I would pay 3 or 4 times the multiple, because you're not, when you're buying the company, you're not relying on the founder to continue to bring in business for you. Chances are he's at the point where the business is running independently of him. He may be more of an advisor, and you can keep him as an advisor. It's a lot easier to keep someone on as an advisor. There's less requirements, less responsibilities that they have to do. They just have to provide guidance, as opposed to buying a research clinic in that middle space, anywhere from $800,000 a year in revenue to 3 to 4 million. That's that middle dangerous space, because first of all, every site thinks they're worth more than they are. Second of all, the foundation is built, not to say that it doesn't have potential or intrinsic value there either, because there could be, but usually they haven't built a system yet to where it can run independently of the founder or the PI or the few key employees, like the original team that started the company. Usually the case in those situations is they're looking for a payday and an exit. So I know, because I've been through this. Now I'm on the other side as an investor looking at clinics, and I always prefer rolling up my sleeves and just doing a startup. And the reason you can do this is because you can bootstrap it. So I've done lots of videos on this before, but I've never combined it with the option of comparing whether to buy an existing clinic or have a startup. So having a startup is fine, because as long as you have a PI, a study coordinator, maybe you can be that study coordinator, maybe you can be that PI, and then you need some studies. And I can help you with the studies in my consulting company. What we do is we help sites, especially startup sites, but even established sites, get studies. So you can give me a call if that's the case for you, and we can discuss this. 949-415-6256. But that's all you need. You need a PI, you need a place. Okay, so you can either rent or purchase the place. If you're in a position where you were considering buying a clinic, I think you're better off going the real estate route and buying a building, because that building's not going to lose its intrinsic value whether your company shuts down or not. You still have a building. Okay, that's a real asset. That's why they call it real estate. That's why I love real estate so much. So take just some of that money that you were going to spend on buying a site, on buying an existing site, and buy a building, and then you can do inpatient studies. You still have that property. You can bootstrap it if you have a PI and one coordinator. That's all you need, and then some studies. Watch a lot of my videos to learn about negotiating budgets, or consult with me or someone like me on getting studies, finding patients, negotiating budgets, creating SOPs, all that kind of stuff. You can find people to help you with if you don't know how to do that. And you don't need to waste millions of dollars buying an existing clinic when you can use that same millions of dollars to buy a building, which will not go out of business. Okay, a building can't go out of business. Your research company might go out of business, but that building won't. So that's how it bootstrap. You don't really need that much equipment. You can get away with like $20,000, and as long as you have 6 months of operating expenses in a savings account to pay for rent, or to pay for staff, to pay for payroll, to pay for patient stipends, to pay for people like me or other people to help you out with your SOPs and all the initial stuff to get started, you're good to go, and you just saved yourself a couple $1,000,000, or better yet, you put those couple $1,000,000 to work with interest rates being at historic lows right now in 2015, and you just bought a building instead of buying a site. I would do that 99 times out of 99 times. Alright? Hopefully this helps. Bootstrapping is the way to go, unless you go really small, buying a really small clinic or a really big clinic. But avoid that gray space in between, okay? This is Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Keep your questions coming in, and thank you. Bye-bye.